The first nuclear aircraft carrier of the United States Navy was officially named. According to the 38th President of the United States, the Gerald Ford was the first Ford-class aircraft carrier on 10th September 2008. The U.S. Navy signed a $5.1 billion contract with the shipbuilder by March 2008. Due to problems with the nuclear reactor and weapons elevator, construction costs increased from the original $5.1 billion to $13 billion, making the Choyar's Dragon offer the most expensive military ship ever built. 31st May 2008. The Newport News shipyard delivered the VF-8 Ford Orford to the U.S. Navy. The 23rd Air Test and Evaluation Squadron flew the FA-18 Super Hornet to perform the first launch landing from the Ford. The tests went smoothly without any problems, and the Navy deemed the ship ready for deployment. Although, however, the U.S. government's accountability agency, JAI, has a different view. They believe that the weapons elevators on the carrier still have serious problems, just not yet reached the level of being usable in combat. Electronic Aircraft Launch System EMALS also have some performance problems, and the initial result is to conduct 4,000 test launches, but in reality only completed less than half. This is a serious shortfall in test data. They are concerned that equipping new systems that have never been used before may be too risky, and recommend extending the time for MSSAO. Despite controversy, some people believe the use of new weapons elevators and electromagnetic launch systems not yet applied on aircraft carriers will significantly increase the combat power of the carrier, making it a breakthrough product. After fierce debate, pursuing the decision to trust TAFA, considering that these new equipment will bring great improvement. On the 18th of June 2021, the ship Ford conducted its first full ship VA test, about 100 miles offshore from Port Florida Bay. An underwater explosion of 18 tons of explosives was detonated 100 meters from the carrier to ensure that it can withstand the harsh environment of war. According to the United States Geological Survey, the explosion was equivalent to an earthquake of magnitude 3.9 on the Richter scale, and the Ford only suffered minor vibrations. Passed the test perfectly. Initially, the advanced weapon elevator platform of this ship was considered a failure and received much criticism. But after more than 5 years of contact with the ship, it was found that these two features did not encounter any problem and had never occurred. The ship has achieved combat capability. Initial Match G explosion of the river in the area. The Guerrero of 4 has begun to deploy to the east, to the Mediterranean. Compared to previous generation Mimis-class aircraft carriers, the Ford uses a lot of high automation systems, helps reduce the number of personnel on board. The Nimitz has a full complement of 6,012 people, while the Ford only needs 4,539 people, including the aircrew and ground personnel. The fewer the number of personnel on the aircraft carrier, the longer the continuous combat time of the ship. At the same time, the use of many devices, high automation, will also significantly improve the ship's situational awareness. In addition to RA, the Ford is equipped with stealthy F-35C aircraft. With extended combat gunfire, the attack distance is also longer than conventional aircraft carriers. When confrontation occurs at sea, the Ford can let the F-35C aircraft take off from a long distance to attack enemy targets. Due to the stealth capability of the F-35C, the enemy's radar is unlikely to detect this aircraft, and therefore cannot determine the position of the carrier based on the direction of the fighter's flight, reducing the possibility of the carrier being detected and avoiding enemy attack. Furthermore, the electromagnetic launch system EMALS on the Vice carrier is easier to maintain and service than the traditional steam launch system. When operating, the launch force of this system can be adjusted. For example, when launching a large early warning